All right, first of all, I'm very impressed that so many people came today. We had a big, important holiday on Friday. I think many people will be traveling now. So I'm very impressed that you're spending your Sunday morning with me. You could be sleeping, you could be playing games, you could be having coffee with friends, just relaxing, having a snack at home. So I'm very impressed that you choose to spend your time here with us. This is a great crowd today. No one will be lonely. You may have come with people you know. Hopefully you'll make new friends by the end of today as well. Today we're gonna practice a lot, okay? And try to have a bit of fun, because if you don't have fun, you'll go a bit crazy, right? So we're gonna practice a lot today. You might feel silly repeating all these words and practicing, but if you feel strange, that's normal, okay? Don't worry. All right, so welcome to improving our pronunciation, especially, this is useful for any part of English if you just want to communicate, even if you're not studying Ielts. But if you are studying Ielts, pronunciation is 25% of your speaking score. Right? We'll go over that in just a moment, a bit more. But yeah, they will be listening for different parts of your English, but your pronunciation is quite important. And usually, it's the last thing students focus on, which is normal, right? First, you have to get enough vocabulary to feel confident to talk about things. You focused a lot on grammar, right? Which can be quite annoying as well. So it's very normal that pronunciation might be one of the last things that students will focus on because there's so much else going on. All right, so when we get started today, this will prove to you that English is in fact crazy. All right, so this is my warning to everyone. English spelling, you really cannot trust it, right? Sometimes it will lead you down a very dark path, right? Sometimes the spelling is simple, easy, and you're like, wow, and then the next word will be crazy again. So when you are practicing your pronunciation, you cannot trust English spelling, as we'll see soon. Okay, let's have a quick look here. I've got 6 words on our screen. We have 3 pairs, so feel free. I can hear some of you pronouncing it already. I'm looking for the ones that sound the same, that rhyme. What about number 1? Yeah. And what does it rhyme with? Okay, so 1 and 3. Great. Look at that spelling. In what crazy world does A-U-G-H rhyme with A-F-F? Right? That is crazy. So we've got laugh and staff. What about number 2? Ooh. Ooh. What do you think? It rhymes with 6? All right, let's see. So number 2, climb. And you're right, number 6, lime. Good job. So that means, what are the last ones? Jim and? Okay, you can see right here. Look at these. They are the same, except for one letter, right? From, this is limb, why not climb? But it's climb. Like, and of course, don't pronounce the B. It's just there for fun, just hanging out, right? English has a lot of silent letters, which I'm sure you know, but it's just there, hanging out with friends for no reason, but it says nothing, just to make it hard. So you can see in just this short exercise, don't trust English spelling, right? Because it can be very different. And I wish I could tell you there are some rules to memorize for these, but no, right? Practice. You'll come across them, you'll realize it's a bit evil, and you'll remember, and you'll add it to your knowledge of pronunciation. Okay, so this was a mini one. I've got a little bigger one for you now. I would love you to work in teams. You have this in your handouts. All right, have a look. All right. Which words rhyme? So I would like you to work together. You can work as a group, in pairs, whatever you like. If you want to work with 2 or 3 people together, the whole team. So you can do it together if you like, or on your own, and then check. I want you to match up. Everyone has a pair. We'll get another copy for you. You will need to say these out loud to effectively match them up. If you read them, it will not work. But every word has a match. All right. I'm gonna guess that it's 100%. let me check one just for kicks, just because I'm here.
So you're gonna take those numbers.
I'm just curious.
Can you see together?
This is teamwork?
Yes,
Yeah.
teamwork.
All right, great. Yep.
I had a hard time with lose.
Exactly. So what did you end up with for 10? Yes, very nice. Good job. So yeah, usually my students will like, yeah, all done. And then it's like, a lot of people match up this one and this one. And it's like, well, the middle part's the same, but not the final part. It's like, oh, okay. But crazy that this one, you know, with the more match with that one, this is the Z sound. Like they all have, but look at them. It's not one that people would, yeah. Just gonna check on over here. All right, we'll finish up in just a minute. I see people have gone to their phones because this is hard, right? Cheating, it's okay. We're practicing, it's not a test today. Okay, let's go because we have lots to practice today. All right. Put you out of your misery. Okay, so some of them good to go. Finished? Are you confident?
Finish all.
Let's see. I might check this one. What did you say for 22? What did you? 22. Ooh, so close. But 22 and 2. Very close, but no. But very close. Very close. Do you know why? Because this has a Z sound and this has a S. So very close. Very close. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go over it. Okay. If you want to have a double check of your answers, all right? What about number 1, bed? What do you think? What sounds like bed? 21, said. They look totally different, but you are correct. Bed and said sound the same, so we cannot read it, look at it for the answer. We have to say it out loud. All right, what about number 2, juice? What number?
10.
Very good. Juice has that sound, and this one, loose. Juice, loose. All right, so we want not just the middle sound, the ooh, but that final, like a snake sound too. What about number 3, key? Perfect. Key, T. So 3, but not kitty. Not kitty, key. All right, great. Now we start to get our tricky territory. What about number 4? Ooh, I heard it over here. 17. Right? Throw and though. Throw, though. So that's 4 and 17. Throw and though. Yeah. Throw and though. That was a tough one. Throw, though. I know, that's a crazy one. 4 and 17. That was a hard one. Let's go to a nice one, like number 5, baby. Maybe, baby. You got it. You'll find that in a lot of songs. Half the words in English songs are maybe and baby because they rhyme. All right. What about number 6? 15. Excellent. Froze and chose. They both have that Z sound. Froze and chose. 6 and 15. All right. A nice one. What about number 7? Night. 8. Bite. Night. Bite. That's silent. GH. What about number 9? 19, correct. Caught and thought. All right, number 11, tricky. 22. Yes, 11 and 22, it's lose with a Z sound and cruise. 11 and 22, lose, cruise. All right, number 13, weigh. And 16, play. You got it. And that leaves number 14, do. 18, through. Very good. Do and through. All right, and way, play. Way, play. All right, so much more challenging, right, than it looks like. At first you're like, yeah, no problem. But this one, it's so important. You must say it out loud, even though you feel silly. The only way to know. The spelling will not help you. All right, that was our little warm-up. But with these, you know, my students always say, but why? They look so similar. I said, I know. No rules. Though, through, and thought. Look so close. Only a couple letters difference. Totally different sound. So the bad news is no rules to help us, but the good news, these words 17, 18, 19, very common. So you will use them a lot. They will start to be more natural to you because they just happen so much in English, right? All the time. Okay, just a quick recap. How many of you have never studied Ielts before? No Ielts. No Ielts. Okay, a lot of you. So that's fine. So I'm just going to cover this very quickly so we can spend more time talking. Not me talking, but you talking. But just so you know, so many of you aren't studying Ielts right now. That's okay. You might choose to study Ielts in the future. There will be a speaking test as part of it. And pronunciation is worth 25% of your score. Right? The other 75%, so your fluency, your ability to keep talking on a topic without long pauses. This one, lexical resource, that just means your vocabulary, really. And of course, 25% grammar. So today, we're focusing on what we can do to improve our pronunciation. All right. This is what the examiner uses to give you a score on pronunciation. All right. It is a very boring document, and it's not easy to understand. All it says, let me get my little pointer here, uses a wide range of pronunciation features. What does that mean? A wide range of pronunciation features, or just a range, not a wide range, you get a higher score for this, or a range of pronunciation features. Okay, that's not very clear. flexible use of these mysterious features, or some use of features. Okay, we still don't know what we're talking about. And is easy to understand throughout. Okay, we understand this, or can generally be understood throughout, but sometimes, you know, there'll be some mispronunciation. So what does this all mean? This is 25% of your score, right? I have advanced Ielts students looking at this and I'm like, teacher, I don't know what they are looking for. What does this actually mean? So first of all, the easy one, can the examiner understand you? If they can understand you all of the time, you're gonna get a higher score, right? That makes sense. If they can understand you most of the time, great, a little lower. Only some of the time, of course, you'll get a lower score if they can only understand you some of the time. If it's none of the time, then we have a big problem. But that won't happen to you. It'll be some of the time, most of the time, or maybe all the time. So we have to go to what are these features they keep talking about? That you have a wide range of features and you have control over your features. But what are the features? It's just the simple stuff. Individual sounds. So we are just practicing some simple words. Those vowel sounds, the A, E, I, O, U, and all the crazy sounds they make are consonant sounds, including those final ending sounds, right? It is the classic challenge. In Vietnamese, is it true the final sound is quite soft? Yeah, it's not really a big deal. But in English, the reason why it's a big deal is because if it's very soft, it can sound like a totally different word. So it all comes back to whether or not the examiner can understand you. If they have a different idea because they think you said another word, that's when we get the problem, okay? Word stress. So if you are saying, keep saying, rely, rely, like what? Rely? What's rely? Like, oh, rely. Okay, the examiner may not understand you if you have the stress on the wrong parts of the word. It sounds like a crazy word. They don't know. Intonation can help too. Intonation, your voice should go down. Stop when you finish a sentence and pause. Sometimes people get really nervous and they keep talking and there are no breaks. That makes it harder for the examiner to understand you. That's why we have those full stops and periods that have a quick pause and then keep going. And then linking and reductions. This generally comes later, okay? Today, we're gonna focus more on this. My advice always is to practice these first and then you can build up to this because there's too much to focus on. So we're going to practice a lot of those individual sounds, especially those final sounds, which are tricky. And that's part of the extra handout I gave you. You can see those words, they have different letters at the end and it's a completely different word. So that's a good one to practice. So all these features, so the more you can do this well, the better your score will be. Okay, these are the things. So we're going to practice some of these today, and we'll see how we go. But of course, the biggest challenge sometimes is how to find out which ones do we need to practice, right? If you're studying IELTS, you'll have a teacher. Your teacher or a tutor can help you, let you know which ones that they can't hear clearly. And they'll say, oh, I didn't hear you right with this one, so they can give you some recommendations on which ones you need to improve. Today, we'll be working with each other. So if your partner can't understand one of the words, like, okay, make a note. This is something I need to practice. But what if you're not taking an IELTS lesson? What if you don't have cool people at an English speaking club to practice with every day? What can you do to find out? So this is, there are many different voice dictation apps around, but right now Otter AI is my favorite. I use it all the time in all my Ielts classes. So this is a website, otter.ai. Yeah, but I'm just spelling it .ai for you. It is otter.ai, yes, but I'm just spelling that for you. All right. If you go to that website, you do need an email address to create an account, but a free account, in my experience, is all you need. I've had a free account for years. I've never needed to pay for it. It gives me enough. You get free minutes to practice. So this is what I recommend for my IELTS students for many reasons. When I'm getting them to practice their speaking test, I ask them to use this app. Then they can send me a link so I can listen to it and give them feedback. But more importantly, it records everything so they can go back and listen to themselves, and it will type up what you're saying. It's not perfect. No app is perfect. It doesn't always get it 100% for me, and I think my pronunciation is okay, right? So it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. It should pick up some problems for you, all right? It doesn't mean everything is a problem, but if there's something that you're saying all the time and it never gets it right, that is one that you can go back and focus on. So it gives you a sign. So if you're not taking a class at the moment, I highly recommend using, even if you are taking a class, I know nobody likes to go back and listen to themselves, right? It's very painful, but it's so worth it because I find people on the speaking test are nervous. They're not paying attention to what they're doing. They're just trying to get through it. So you may not be aware of certain words or phrases. So this is awesome. So I made a recording earlier to show you. So it keeps track of it all. So whenever you record, it keeps them all together, and this is the free account. It types up what you're saying. So you can record something, go back and check. So you could, if you wanted to, take any of these word lists, say it into your phone or your iPad or your computer, it works on everything, and see which ones it recognizes correctly. So if you say all of these and it captures them correctly, that's a good sign that things are sounding good, okay? So this is one that I recorded yesterday. It's a bit of a tongue twister.
Maybe bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my batter better. So it was better that he bought a bit of better butter.
All right, so that sounds crazy, but that is an excellent way to practice, right? The I sounds, right? If you can get that spot on in the app, then you are doing a good job. I do have a prize later for someone who is happy to give this one a try. It's a crazy one, but it's a fun one to practice, and fun for us to listen to as well. Okay, so that's probably my #1 tip for people who are quite serious to find out how their pronunciation is going. It's a good first step. Like I said, it's not perfect. It will get things wrong occasionally, even for native speakers, because it's trying to figure out what you're saying as well. But it's really, really good, and it's free, so why not? Okay? So why is it so important? If English speakers can understand potato or potato, why is it so important? It's because if you don't have the right vowel sound or the right consonant sound, if it sounds like another word, then it can cause confusion. So that's why it's important. So feel or fill, sheep or ship, be careful, because ship sounds like a lot of things too, so be careful there. Or sheet, be careful, right? Sounds like a lot. I had a student told me they went to the dentist to get their feelings replaced. It's like, what? Your feelings? Like, are you happy, sad, bye-bye? Oh, the fillings in your mouth. That's what we call. So totally different meaning. So if the examiner has to stop and think and try, what are they talking about? That's when the problems come in, okay? So, how about this one? All right, sounding pretty good over there. The sheep on the ship feels seasick. Yeah. So, now this could be, we only have a 2-hour workshop today, so we can't do it all, but if you are someone that's a bit of an English nerd, or you just really want to practice your sounds, this is a little bit different from the normal IPA, what we call these sounds here. This has been designed by a very famous English teacher. You? Not me, definitely not me. His name is down here, Adrian Underhill. And he's designed this based on where these words come from in your mouth, like what your mouth is doing. Because your lips, your teeth, your tongue, all of these things have to be in a certain place to get some of these sounds. So if you are super keen to practice English sounds individually, every sound American English makes is here. There's a different chart for British English. They have a few more sounds than Americans do. But that's a good point. You can choose whatever pronunciation you like. American English or British English, totally fine. Up to you. All right. Okay. Quick question for you. I am making the E sound and the I sound. But which letter am I making the E sound? Any guesses?
And the sheep is B.
Why do you think it's B for sheep? You're correct, but why do you think that? Why did you guess that? Any reason?
I learned it in the phonetic.
So what about the position of the mouth? Right? So if you make the E, if you make the E sound, you kind of have to smile, right? Your mouth goes long. I, or even oo, if I was making an oo sound, it would be more round. Ooh, E. We're all wearing masks, so you can't see. But if you make the E sound, your mouth will go like a straight, like E, ooh, E. Right? So the mouth, just like one of our least favorite sounds, the TH sound. TH. Where does your tongue have to be to make that sound? Your tongue has to be between your teeth, like teeth, to make the TH sound. Some people say think or sink instead of think. Right? You can only make that sound if your mouth is in a certain way. So you are correct. This is my E face. All right. So that is why in English we tell you when you take a photo, say cheese, right? Because you have to make a smile to make that sound. You got it. What do you say in Vietnamese to get a smile?
We don't say anything.
Nothing?
We just smile.
Just smile. All right, all right. Okay, so we're going to practice now. Now this is up to you, which ones you want to choose, all right? We have different ones, so some people might start with this one. Let me show you here. So this is in your pack. All right. All right. Or I'm going to show you a couple options here. They're all the same for what we're going to practice now. You're going to decide, do you want to try some of our vowel sounds, or do you want to try some of your final end sounds? Okay? All right, because both are very useful to you. If you do this one, I will ask you to pick 10 words, say them one time for your partner, get your partner to write down the numbers of what they are saying, and see if you can hear them, if you can say it correctly or hear them correctly. If you're really having trouble with those final end sounds, I suggest you use the time and use this worksheet. So we're giving a couple options here. If you want to do, these are all like more vowel sounds, like bin or bean, bird or board, check or chick, fill or feel, fur, for, grin, green, his or he's. These sound quite similar. Or if you want to do this one, this would be a good one to practice as well. So I'm going to give you the option now. Some of you might want to do this one. Some of you might want to do this one. They're both equally good. Should be what you think you need more practice on. Okay? But same thing, if you choose this one, you're going to pick 10 words, read them to your table or your partner. They will write down what they hear and then see if they were right. It's you saying it correctly and your friend hearing it correctly as well. So does that make sense? We're giving you a choice. You might want to practice this one or this one. You get to decide. All right. All right. How's it?
Oh my God, it's so sexy.
I think 19 or 19 and 26 can be hard for people.
Now the V and the N is save.
But you can see that one, it can be hard for some people to say and hard for some people to hear. Okay guys, we're going to get back into our practice. We are going to be talking on actual topics pretty soon, so don't worry, we're not just going to be individual word practice today, but just one thing, there will always be some very commonly mispronounced words in English that you cannot know every word in English and remember it all, but I picked 20 of my favorites that these words I hear mispronounced all the time, but even from native speakers. Sometimes native speakers get it wrong too. Now, in your pack, if you want to challenge yourself, only look at this page first. See if there are any that you don't know. The answers are in your pack. Please don't look at that until you're ready. All right? Have a look. It's in your pack. Talk amongst yourselves which ones you think you're confident with, or which ones are. So these are the answers. Sorry. Can I just have... So if we look at this one first, see if there are any that you are not sure. Maybe you talk to each other like, oh, how do you say this one? And then you can check your answers on this page. Oh. Yeah, so that will tell you how to say it.
The key.
The key, that's the answer key. I apologize, we were supposed to make that separate. Okay, so yeah, the answer key is in here, right? So we want to focus on this page first. right. Sorry, I'll just move this away. Yeah, so have a look, see if there are any that you, because this one has the answers. So we'll look at this one first. So have a look. If you feel you know it, fine. Have a look if there's any that you're not sure, and then you can check your answers over here. Or you can ask me if you're not sure as well, okay? All right, ladies, so we've got a bunch of words here. So if you think you know it, so this one, the way we write it is different from how we say it. So we don't say, you know, Wednesday. We actually just say Wednesday. So we get rid of a lot of letters. So if you think you know, like this one, we actually pronounce it aisle, like I'll go to the store, aisle. So you can see if you think you know it, you can say it, and then you can check your answers here. So see, Wednesday, Wednesday, that's how you say it. So have a look. These are just the ones that a lot of people get wrong. So it's good to practice these, right? Alright, what about, can I open this one?
No, we have to practice. Okay, thank you.
Alright, so this is the one that there's no answers here. Just have a look. See if you feel confident with all of these, alright, or any that you think a bit tricky. Like a lot of people aren't sure with this one.
Oh yeah. Debut.
Very good. Except in Australia, it makes me laugh. They say debut. Debut.
Debut.
Like boo. It makes me laugh because I don't say it, but American English debut.
At least they don't say debut.
That's true.
Debut.
But things like this fish, people get it wrong all the time. Yeah, we don't pronounce the L, just salmon.
Simon.
This one,
Subtle.
we don't pronounce the B at all. It's subtle. Subtle. What about 15? Yep, it's like you could have stopped right there. Yeah. So subtle. Yeah. Of course, you know this one. Yeah. Otherwise, it's that other country, Iceland, right? You know, people. But people do. But because if you've never seen it before, you wouldn't know. What about? Great. Very good. Now, 8 is interesting.
What means
If you have an A here,
woman.
woman, but if it becomes plural, it's actually women. It's not, you know, like it changed. It's woman, women. It's crazy. So if you want to share this other one, all the answers are here. Okay.
This is crazy.
And it's got the emphasis. So which one, you know, like we've got desert and dessert. With the emphasis.
One is like stuff you eat, and one is like...
So this is the dirt. The dirt, the dry area, and this is the cake that you're gonna have. So if you go to a restaurant, you're like, I'd like some dessert, please. They'll bring you a bowl of sand and say, off you go, you know. So like if you said that, the examiner would know, but they'd have a chuckle. You know, they'd understand. You don't want to draw attention to it, right? Like people, I always get accessory. And it's like accessory. That's right. That's right. So accessory. So accessory. Kind of an not even accessory. Yeah. And a lot of people say defiantly instead of definitely. Like someone's defiantly, they're trying to rise up against you. It's like, do you want to have lunch later? Defiantly. I'm like, what? Are you angry with me? Are you know? It's like, I just want to have lunch, like for sure. I still get a lot of stomach. So many stomach aches. It's like, what's wrong? My stomach hurts. It's like, oh no, that sounds painful. Okay. I just forgot that I did bring some candy. If 1 or 2 people would like to give this a go, I'll give you a gummy pizza or a gummy hamburger if you want to give it a go.
Gummy hamburger.
Okay. So, well, I'll do it for you slowly to give you some confidence. All right. Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my batter better. So it was better Betty Botter bought a bit of better butter.
Wow.
So easy, right? I have nightmares about this one.
10 out of 10.
I can do it faster than that, but I will go crazy. I will go crazy. All right, how about this? If I get a kind soul who wants to give it a go, I will happily give you a gummy hamburger. Anyone want to give it a try? You don't need to do it perfectly.
Can I do it fast?
You don't need to do it fast either. Anyone want to give it a try? Oh. It doesn't have to be fast. It can be any speed, okay? All right.
Betty bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter, but a bit of better butter will make my batter better. So it was better Betty butter bought a bit of better butter.
Woo! Awesome! That was great. That was excellent, actually. And I think if you recorded yourself on those dictations, I think you would get a great result. That was fantastic. Anyone else want to give it a go? All right. Any speed. You don't have to be fast.
Betty bought some butter, but she said the butter bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my batter bitter. So it was better Betty bought a bit of better butter.
Woo! Very nice. Do you feel crazy now? All right, one more if we want to give it a go. Anyone? Yeah? Yeah? Oh.
Betty bought some butter, but she said the butter is bitter. If I put it in my butter, it will make my butter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my butter better. So it was better Betty butter bought a bit of better butter.
Very nice. Wow. That was great. I saw someone over here. Okay. 2? All right.
Pepsi Potter bought some pizza, but she said the butter is pizza. If I put it in my pizza, it will make my pizza pizza. But the pizza better is pizza will make my batter better. So it was better Pepsi Potter bought a bit of pizza butter.
Woo! That's really tough. Good work. That's really good. Ruby, want to give it a go? All right.
Betty bought some butter, but she said the butter is bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my batter better. So it was better Betty bought a bit of better butter.
Woo! Awesome! Don't you feel crazy? All right, you guys are too good. Too good. That was excellent. Excellent. All right, let's do some extra talking now. I'm going to give you one more hint that a lot of people forget about. So we focused a lot on the individual sounds, which is really, it's the first stepping point, making sure you've got your final sounds down, your vowel sounds, super important. If you can do, those 20 words that are commonly mispronounced all the time, that's going to give you an edge, because these are words that even native speakers struggle with sometimes, okay? So if it's impossible to memorize the pronunciation of every word in English, I don't know every word in English. I haven't seen every word in English yet, right? It's impossible. It's growing all the time. But this is a good point to start from. But something that a lot of people forget about is these filler words or phrases. Usually teachers will talk about this with regards to vocabulary and fluency, and they work for everything. Now, what is something that's unfair about the Ielts test is sometimes you can be penalized for something that even native speakers do. So if you do a lot of native speakers do that all the time. So it's not fair for you to maybe get a lower mark because you do the same thing. So that's not fair, but it can happen. So these are just some really simple phrases to help you give yourself time to think. So if you're struggling to what to say next, instead of saying, say, I guess, or you know, or even just a well, or actually, I've changed my mind, I'm going to talk about blah, blah, blah. Or the first one, to be honest, is such a natural sounding phrase. Use it. It doesn't mean that the examiner thinks that you were lying before. It's just a totally normal way. It's like, to be honest, I'm a huge fan of BTS. You can say anything after, to be honest. It's just a very natural way to start the next sentence. Okay? It doesn't matter what you say after that. It's to help keep you going, because I don't want you to lose out on a higher score because you said or too much. Now, in normal everyday conversation, that doesn't matter. Native speakers do it all the time. But on the Ielts test, sometimes you get penalized for doing things that even native speakers do. So if you can just practice using some of these, so when you need time to think, pull out one of these. Help keep you going. It's like, well, or you can even say, let me think for a moment. It's perfectly fine to say that. Gives you a beat to think about what you want to say next. So we're going to do a little bit of speaking tic-tac-toe, X's and O's. And so I'm going to leave this up here to help remind you. So when you're having a little chat with your partner, see if you can put some of these in there when you need a moment to think. Okay? Let me show you what it looks like on the screen. I will come back to this in just a second. All right, so this is our Ielts speaking tic-tac-toe. You will have this in your pack, or I have some extra ones I can give to you. So you can go nuts with this. I'm just going to zoom in. You can choose any topic that you feel comfortable talking about, and then your partner will have a quick chat. You don't have to talk long. 30 seconds is fine, but you're trying to win. So you're going to keep track. If your partner is here, is X, and you're O, you're trying to stop them. So you might pick a topic you don't want to stop them from winning, just like real tic-tac-toe. Okay? So see how many you can do. Short answers, maybe 30 seconds, 60 seconds if you really want to. How many can you do? Can you beat your friend to the tic-tac-toe? And I'm just going to leave these here to remind you. All right, so if I go here, then which topic do you like? Maybe you could tell me something. So a car or motorbike you want to have, someone older than you that you really like, someone you know who's good at cooking. Okay, tell me about someone.
My mother.
Okay.
She is very good about the cooking. She cook everything for my family, and it's so good. I think.
What's the best thing that she does? What's your favorite food that she makes?
Rice with chicken rice.
Chicken rice. It's a classic dish, right? So I love chicken rice as well.
Yeah.
So great. So great.
Spaghetti.
Oh, yes. And does she teach you how to cook?
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes.
In my free time, she teach me about cook, and make more interesting.
Okay. Does anyone else in your family cook or mostly mom?
My father?
Yeah, he's okay?
Actually, not bad.
My dad, I mean, both of my parents don't really like to cook. They don't really like to cook, but my mother would do it more. My dad would cook 2 times a year. And then my mother does. But my dad is good at desserts. So he can make like a cheesecake, or so he can make some like sweet things very nice. So he make a cake or brownies or maybe some cookies or something. So he can make something sweet that's yummy, but it's not a meal. It's what you would eat after the meal, just a little thing. Okay, great. So I can't win here because you did one. All right. How about a pleasant surprise? I'm gonna say coming here today was a pleasant surprise because I didn't think anyone would come today because Friday was the holiday. So I thought many people will travel and no one will come today. So I was really surprised to see so many people here today. So I was very happy. And do you study at SEAMEO? Do you take any classes here? Yeah. Okay. Because some people come because they take classes. Some people don't take classes. They just come because it's free. Anyone can join in. You know, anyone that wants to practice the English can come. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have another class here. Some people come just for this. Sorry to interrupt you, everyone. I will let you get back to chatting in just a moment. I just wanted to let you know, so we have about 20 minutes left, okay? So if you're enjoying yourself playing tic-tac-toe, feel free to keep going. Beat your friends, right? Try your best. Beat them nicely, gently, right? No gloating, right? Yeah, so we have many topics. So if you're having fun, you can keep going with this if you like. I just wanted to give you another option, all right? Some of you might be wanting to get extra serious about your Ielts practice, so I've put this in your pack. These are 2 examples, I can see you've got it there, of some typical part 2 questions you might get on a real Ielts test, okay? So the first one, describe what you would usually do on an average day. All right. Remember, these are just guides. You can add extra information, not just what's here, what you do, who you do it with, where do you go, you know, what do you like most about your day, why do you like it? Or the yellow one, talk about your house, your apartment. We call this your accommodation, wherever you live. Okay. Where is it? What is it like? You know, how many bedrooms, bathrooms, whatever you want to say, who you live with, or you might live alone, and you know, what you like or dislike most about your house and why. Now, in a real test, you would only have 1 minute to write some short notes, and then they would like you to talk for 1 to 2 minutes. I know, it's a long time when you're first starting out. It can feel like the longest 2 minutes of your life, right? So this is an option for you. If you want to keep going with tic-tac-toe, you go for it. If you want to give this a try, you can choose one of the questions, make some short notes, and then if you want to practice with each other, go for it. Just before we go today, like in the last 10 minutes, I'm gonna find out if there's anyone that's brave that would like to give their answer in front of the whole group. And if you do that, I'm happy to give you some feedback, all right? I am a nice teacher. I will not embarrass you. I will let you know what you are doing well and some suggestions for how you can do even better, okay? I will not be mean in my feedback to you, okay? So keep that in mind. The option is there if you are keen. So we probably would have time for 1 or 2 people to do that if you want to, okay? No pressure. All right, guys, up to you. Go for it. If you want to tic-tac-toe or give these part 2 questions a try, you can practice with each other before you maybe share your answer with everyone, okay? All right, Let's give it a go.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. I'm proud of you. Oh, this is the part 2 table. Look at you. You're all looking at it. I love it. All right, guys. Don't be scared by the bomb. It's not real. You know that. All right. So for the Ielts speaking test, you only need a minute. At least a minute is enough. A minute 30 seconds is great. If you can go for 2 minutes, wonderful. What happens if you speak longer than 2 minutes? You will die. No, just kidding. The examiner will tell you, thank you. If you go over, the examiner will say, thank you so much. I have enough information from you now. So they will stop you if you go longer than 2 minutes. So today, if we have some brave souls happy, I've just put it here just so they can keep track of how much time they have. If you feel that you've talked for a minute and that's enough, you can stop. Don't worry. It's just there to make sure no one goes too long. Okay? All right. Anybody want to give it a go? Oh, we've got to volunteer. All right. Okay, fantastic. So which topic would you like to talk about?
About my daily routine.
Your daily routine?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. All right, the floor is yours. Give me 1 second and I'll start the timer, okay? So you can just start, say today I'm going to tell you about my average day or my routine, okay? All right. I'm excited. All right, can we give him some okay, this is very brave. I'm excited. All right. And your time starts now.
I get up every day at 7 o'clock. I brush my teeth, wash my face, and eat breakfast. I often eat cereal because I think it's delicious. I get dressed and went to school at 8 o'clock. My school starts at 8:30. We have many subjects like math, and English, Vietnamese, and then calculus.
Great.
Then we have lunch at 2 o'clock.
Great.
And the food at my school is delicious.
Cool.
We take a nap until 1 o'clock, then we study till 5 o'clock. Then we went home. I often play football and basketball in the evening. I ate dinner. Then I read a book at 9 o'clock and I went to sleep at 10 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Good. There's the bell. Okay, great. Wow, wow, wow. Now you did that without any notes, right? Okay, now that's amazing. Okay, so we can see, so fluency, the ability to keep going, right? He could talk for more than a minute. You know, some small stops, but not too many. Really kept going pretty well. He had no notes. In the real test, you can take some short notes and you can look down at your notes just quickly to help you keep going. So I know at the end, right, yeah, it's hard to remember a couple things, but if you had some notes, would have been no problem. You did that without any notes, which is very impressive, right? That's really good. So you did a nice job. You can use just the present tense for the grammar here. On your daily routines, you don't need to worry about past tense or things like that. You can keep it in the present tense, so that was good. Just some suggestions. So really, you did a great job, but you can add some extra vocabulary. Like, so you said delicious a few times, no problem. You can mix it up a little bit, right? Say, it's amazing, incredible, mouth-watering, yummy. All we gotta do is just mix up the vocab a little bit. because you're already doing a great job at keeping it going. And just a few of those little filler phrases that we practice would help. But for someone who was ready to go with no notes, that is a very amazing job. Let's give them one more hand. Fantastic, thank you. All right, do we have one more before we go? Oh, you do? Do we have two more? Hang on, so Ruby? You know? All right. Oh my goodness, this is unheard of. You really want candy, don't you? All right, we'll do a ladies first, and then we'll go to our gentlemen. All right. Yay! All right, and we'll start 3, 2, 1.
Well, my normal day would start at about 6 a.m. because my school starts very early. Also, after that, I brush my teeth and I go down and eat my breakfast. And I must go to school at 7 because my school starts at 7:15. In school, we learn a lot of interesting subjects, but it's usually PE that comes first. Because, like, you know, we must exercise in the morning. Some subjects are really difficult, but others are quite easy, like English or Vietnamese, but math is very difficult. After we finish school, after we finish lunch, we must go to sleep, and then we wake up, we gotta study more, we get a break time, then we study a bit more, and we get to go home. After I come home, I usually change and go to like my other practices like basketball or karate. After I finish that, I go home and do my homework, which is relatively quickly. And I get to play for the rest of the day, brush my teeth, and go to sleep. That's it.
All right. Okay, look at that. So a good minute and a half, so great timing. All right. Ruby used a lot of those good phrases, connecting phrases like after that and next and then to keep things going, which is very advised in Ielts. So she gave reasons for everything, which is always a good idea. So if you make a statement like, I have to get up at 6 a.m., but why? Because my school starts really early. So that is something you can do for everything. Just answer why. That will give you something more to talk about. It's like, oh, we have PE first thing in the morning. Why? Because, you know, we have to get our exercise done early on. So same thing, it's very common that people might repeat a couple vocabulary words. So the word difficult. Ruby would know many synonyms for difficult. She can whip out one of those next time, no problem, right? Excellent work. It is normal to repeat ourselves a little bit. In IELTS, we just try to mix it up. And we practice a lot of synonyms just so that you can use different vocabulary to talk about delicious food or challenging subjects, for instance, okay? Great job, Ruby. All right, did we have? No, that's it? Okay, that's it. Let me give some snack prizes to our brave people. And just another round of applause for our two amazing, brave students today. Thank you so much. Oh. We have someone who really wants to go. Next time, save your notes. You will have an opportunity. If you didn't get a chance to do it today, bring your notes. You can always give it a try next time, okay? Thank you so much, guys, for coming.